Pickleball lovers, do you hate those lobbers? Do you want to get more power on that overhead right now? Well, let's get started. Don't forget to have a good day.
I'm sick and tired of hearing my clients come back from rec play complaining about people that lob too much. They have a disease, people, but we have to get a better overhead, get it stronger, learn the sky hook. So pickleball lovers, strap in and let's get started right now.
What do tennis players do? That scissor kick, right? But when you do that scissor kick, when you're right next to the kitchen, you step on that line. So I would suggest to really straddle that line, use that offhand to get power, to get farther out in the kitchen. The other thing you see people do, go up on that left hand, slam it. You could do that too. If you go a little farther back, we can do that scissor kick, right? What don't we want to do? Take all those small steps, right? What happens? Let me change shirts and I'll show you right now.
Before we do, look at Sandra, top right hand corner. Look at her go on one leg to get more power, to get farther out in the kitchen. She is so good. We'll look at that in slow motion in a bit. Next, look at Terry, near right hand corner. Balance is key on these overheads. Use that left hand as a counterbalance. Do not fall into the kitchen. Here it is in slow motion. Sandra's really getting far out in the kitchen, top right hand corner. This was the beginning example. Here's Terry right here. In my mind, she could have got farther out in the kitchen by going on one leg, staying balanced with that offhand, keeping that counterbalance right. In pickleball, the farther out you can get in the kitchen, the better, right? And that's what I'm thinking. And I'll point out later in the video, if you get lower, you can get farther out in the kitchen. Seriously, watch these examples and save 10% on any paddle. Check description.
I switch shirts to get injured so you don't have to. What happens when you take a lot of small steps? This, right? Right? And it doesn't make sense. You can go to the hospital. One thing I would suggest, if you're down 7-0 and you really want to get out of the game, free ride with the ambulance to the hospital, do that. You get out of the game, you'll feel good. Not really. The sky hook is something I would recommend if you're really running back, don't have enough time to really get that power. We can use that sky hook. And that sky hook basically this. It's easier on the shoulder. You're trying to get the ball back. You're not trying to win the point. And that's pickleball, right? Reset. One tip I would give to generate more power on that overhead is this. I'm not generating power with that wrist. How do I do it? Right here. I lead with this, and I almost stop at the top, and I get that torque, right? So I can straddle the kitchen, get that torque. The other thing I can do when I'm at that kitchen line to generate more power, go up on that left leg. This is a counterbalance. As I go, right? As I go, I'm balanced here and I can't fall into the kitchen. That's another really good tip. One other thing I would suggest, if you're farther back, is that scissor kick. If you do that too close to the kitchen line, it's a foot fault. So that's why I teach this or this. But if I'm going farther back, I'll show you the scissor kick right here. The scissor kick is effective when you're running back to generate power, to get that weight from right to left foot. Yeah, right? I'm running back, I need a power from right to left foot, and it's beautiful. One other thing I would suggest, if you don't have enough time, a little more defensive, sky hook, easier on the shoulder, right? Running back. And I'm just trying to get it in. If you have shoulder issues, older, don't have enough time, hurt that shoulder before, we all have playing pickleball, would suggest the sky hook. I'm out of breath. One drill you could do at home with a friend, have them feed you 10 overheads all around the court. Practice that sky hook. Let's go right now. Some easy ones, some tough ones. Really tough, really far back. Try that sky hook, right? Here we go. I want it tougher. I want it difficult. Opponents are not going to be nice on you. Higher, higher into the sun. Now we try that scissor kick. Some shorter ones, practice those angles, right? Using the counterbalance, everything's coming together. Here we go. Practice that sky hook. Point if you need to. And that's beautiful sky hook, right? Some athleticism. Practice angling out wide if we need to. Counterbalance with that offhand. Everything's coming together. If I'm at the kitchen, I do the scissor kick, right? So Like I said, we can get more power doing this. I like to get lower. I can hit down on it more. If it's a little higher, I can get more leverage leading with this, right? The other thing you see people do, if the wind's blowing this way, they hit a lob, it's going in the kitchen, they're trying to get on this foot, right? And they're using this hand not to fall. If they don't, and I'll show you, if this comes down, you fall into the kitchen. So tip to keep in mind, use the left hand as a counterbalance.
Counterbalance is right. Take a look at this third shot lob, and was this overhead good enough? Yeah, I guess so, but communication is key.
Pickleball lovers, any other tips to generate more power on that overhead? Please leave your comments, please subscribe, and don't forget to have a good day. And subscribe. One tip I would suggest when you're hitting overheads, don't take a lot of small steps back. This is what will happen right here.